Welcome to another edition of Alicia's Delicious Dishes. Let's have a look at what the queen of crappy kitchen cuisine is cooking today. First of all, you've got to spray half a can of oil onto a baking sheet. Rule 1 of Alicia's Delicious Dishes is you've got to make everything as oily and fatty as possible. Rule number 2 is never ever make your own pastry. I mean, why bother? Mixing flour, butter and water together. What a fucking effort that is when you can just get this mouldy old pastry which been sitting in a cardboard tube for 3 months and use that. Next thing you've got to learn if you want to be as good a chef as Alicia here is how to mould the food as much as humanly possible. You've got to touch every single part of every piece of food that you're serving with every part of your hand. Use the palms of your hand. You've got to get all the crevices of your dirty, germy hands mixed into the pastry so the bacteria can grow properly. Then we cover it with some more oil because you've got to get as much fat in as possible. You know the motto. Make your kids as unhealthy as possible so they turn into unhealthy adults and have to live with you forever and you can continue making money off them on your YouTube channel. You know, that well-known motto. So once you've laddied it up, go and get a fork, and just stab it all over. Imagine it's a certain family vlogger who made it onto the TikTok family list when you didn't. Just imagine it's her that you're poking a fork into and you'll be better. And then throw it down when you realise that all the times you've reported her to TikTok, it doesn't matter because she's still more popular than you. If you don't know what I'm talking about Heather Bell from Just the Bells 10 channel. She did a TikTok saying 50 of her videos were reported to TikTok. And in the comments, she was liking comments that were saying it was Alicia. So I'm not saying it was Alicia, but you know, maybe it was. Next, you've got to gather all the eggs that they had in the store and just start smashing them erratically into a pan. Make sure to get a bit of eggshell in there as well and then just throw the eggshells wherever you want. Why does she always whisk so aggressively? She's like stabbing the eggs and just like, I bet she's imagining it's a certain person's brains that she's just slamming about with that whisk. She's not even whisked it up yet. She's not whisking it. No, she's not. Just stabbing it and leaving it like that. Each to their own, I guess. Next, just find some old bacon in the fridge. It might have been there a year or so, but it doesn't matter. Then just stick your fingers into it. Make sure it gets into your fingernails and just pull it back out again. Just throw it all over the side and just put it back in. It doesn't matter. The more living organisms that's on it, the better. This next part knocked me fucking sick. Look at her face while she's doing it as well. It's like she's trolling us. She's pouring on this meat-flavoured gravy. I think it's like a beef type of broth. Then she's smearing it around. Honest to God, it looks like she's smearing the feces of a newborn raccoon over it. And then she goes to get the eggs and starts spooning it on top. So it's pastry with beef gravy and then scrambled eggs on top. What the actual fuck is that? And the way she's putting it on as well, she's just throwing it on. She really is a psychopathic Goomba. And it's like she's using the most inefficient spoon she can find. Who uses a flat wooden spoon to spoon scrambled eggs? Trying to balance it on the spoon from the bowl to the tray. What a fucking idiot. Why doesn't she just pour it on and spread it across, or just use a big ladle? And why does she have to throw it all over the kitchen side as well? She's so fucking slapdash and messy with everything she does. Then she does a usual trick of covering it with cheese to make it look a little bit better. It's not fucking working in this case, Alicia, I'm sorry. But pastry with beef gravy, eggs, cheese, and now bacon bits on the top. Sounds fucking repulsive. And it looks like a litter tray full of cat shit. And it doesn't look any better when it's cooked. Well, I hope the dogs enjoyed the cat litter breakfast, because there's no way the kids ate that. Maybe they picked at this half a melon they had between them. Woohoo! Well, thank fuck breakfast's over with. Let's see another meal. So for some fucking reason, she's decided to make tortellini soup in the crock pot, or whatever she calls it. Fuck knows why, because I'm sure you could make it in like 10 minutes on the stove. So first she puts an aluminium 6-man tent into the crock pot. Then she sprays it with the rest of the can of the oil that she used for the breakfast. Then she used like 12 cans of tomatoes. They might not be tomatoes, but whatever it is, you know it's going to be horrible by the time she's finished with it. So now she's adding the pasta and a bag of frozen spinach. And then obviously, because she's added something to the crock pot, she's got to start messing with it with her dirty fingers. Then she did add those tins of broth. And then she got some, oh my God, why is it so fucking grey? Looks like chicken brains. Oh, no way. I've not seen those chickens for ages. Mother Clucker, is that you? And now she's adding 4 packets of cream cheese. But why the fuck is she doing it like that? Why is she grabbing it with her fingers? Like, why don't you just pour it in or use a spoon or anything? Other than grabbing it with your hand. Why the fuck would you want cream cheese all over your hand if you don't need to? She's not fucking rap right, this one. What the fuck was that? She went all the way over there to get a spoon. Come back with it. Just tapped the cream cheese with it. I thought she were going to fucking stir it, but she just tapped it. What even was that? She's so erratic and weird in the kitchen. So this is after it's been cooking for a while. And look, she can stir it a little bit now. But look at the fucking state of that. How is that soup? How come when she's actually making a stew or something like, I don't know, like any sort of dish, it's all sloppy and watery. But when she's making soup, it's stiff as a fucking board. Listen to this perfect ASMR, Alicia Doherty style. It sounds like a toddler plunging a toilet. And I don't mean to be rude, Alicia, but I imagine if a hippopotamus had an enema, the contents that came out of its backside would look a lot like what's in your crock pot right now. I think me and Alicia had the same thought here. Put a fucking lid on it. Cover that shit up. So now it's finished cooking, it's magically turned into the same beigey grey colour that all the dishes end up being. And she does a usual trick of trying to cover it up because it looks rancid by pouring Parmesan cheese on top. Yeah, sure, that'll fix it, Lishy. Yeah, you're right. Still looks shit. Put the lid back on. Now, credit where credit's due. This looks fucking yummy. Looks like garlic bread is what I'd call it, but she called it Texas toast. But it does look good, which is a good fucking job, because look at that. I guarantee the only thing the kids are eating from this meal is that Texas toast. See you next time.